Hey guys.
Hi.
We're just here with another topic, and ignore the music in the background if you can hear it or sound. Our dad is watching a football game.
And you may hear a fan in the background.
Yeah, but but anyways, this topic, Christy and I just want to talk about. Just be careful about what you post on the internet because the internet is forever.
Yep.
And Christy and I, we were talking about it earlier. Just, some of the content that we may come across, or, if you have social media, you have come across and you're just like, WTF, why? Why would you post this?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with employment and things like that, they look at your social media if you have one.
Yeah, like even if it's been like a job that you've been with for some time. Because I mean, like a lot of businesses and things like that, they are closing, they're shuttering their doors. And some of them are trying to prolong the inevitable of closing by slimming down the payroll. And they will find any way or any reason to do that. And if you have questionable content on your, social media page or anything like that, or heck, it may be somebody that you think that you're cool with and they go to HR and they share the contents of your social media page with HR. And next thing you know, you're getting called to the principal's office. You're thinking, oh man, maybe I'm up for a promotion. No, they're handing you a freaking pink slip and you out the door on your booty with no income.
Yeah.
So
And you just don't know who may come across your social media. You may have like some distant relatives that may not even like you, and they come across your content and they're calling your job up, sharing with your job what you got posting. And also, if you don't post on social media but you have one, jobs look at what you're commenting on and liking too.
Right.
So that's another thing to just be careful of. Um, yeah, like we said, the internet is forever, so it's just like just be careful about what you're posting. Like okay, like with some of the men and ladies, like some of the things that they're posting, if they're wearing like some really revealing things.
Yeah.
And also like the caption is I can't well I'm gonna say sexual.
Sexual in nature.
Sexual in nature. Yeah, you could get in trouble for that. And it's like you might even be like, okay, what was I thinking to myself? And you delete it. But guess what? It's still out there. Trust me. Somebody done screenshot, shared it with somebody else. That person shared it with somebody else, so on and so on. So it's still out there. You just have to just really think about what you post. And then sometimes, people with all these like scammers and things, they're taking people's pictures and catfishing with it.
Or
Like
creating what you were telling me, the sugar baby accounts.
yeah,
And making money off of it.
yes,
And people out here unknowingly being pimped out and don't know they're being pimped
right.
out.
Or they're putting it on. I can't say the word, but they're putting their content on corn sites.
Right.
So yeah, your content is floating around on corn sites, or someone is catfishing using your videos and pictures, and on sugar baby sites getting money off of your content.
And you just don't know what type of people in general are viewing those sort of things, because some people are very disturbed.
Yeah.
They may not get a lot of social interaction, and they're thinking that, this person, even though you didn't create that page or that sugar baby page or whatever, they're thinking that, okay, this person, like if there's a way to interact,
Right.
okay, that person, I'm speaking to them for real, oh, they like me, all this other nonsense. And, at some point, they may even be able to try to, or are able to locate you, like your physical location.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many, and I mean, it's great with like social media and just technology in general, we've become closer, even with like a huge amount of distance, but at the same time, it's like, what sort of people do you really want and are willing to give access to you?
Yeah, because it's happened, true stories, like especially like I know men create OF content, but it's probably more women, right? Would you say than men that are posting it?
As far as what I see,
Right,
yeah, and I mean, there's more women than men on the
right.
earth, so I guess it's the women.
Yeah, but it was a lady that posted on OF all the time, and it was some man like one of her fans or whatever, she communicated with him back and forth, and he was sending, of course, paying for her content, but he also was sending her gifts and things like TV, like just buying her things, and she
Mm-hmm.
accepted. But he ended up finding where she lived, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that he unalived her. He found out where she lived,
Yeah,
and
he did.
and he unalived her.
There was another instance where it was an OF model, a dude that had become overly obsessed with her.
Right.
Homeboy found out where she lived, and for a while he had like created like a hangout like in her attic, and she did
I heard,
not
yeah, I
know.
heard about that. That's
And I'm just
crazy.
like, that is disturbing.
Very disturbing. Yeah, so
So
you gotta be careful
yeah,
out here. And then it's like not only you putting yourself at risk, like if you have family and things like that, you're putting them in danger too.
yeah, because people, they all on your page, and we overshare
Yeah.
in this age of social media. We overshare, and I'm just like this. If it's not something that's meant to kind of like help somebody, or if you're somehow in a way like overexposing your location, your occupation, or your family,
Yeah.
it needs to stay off the internet,
Yeah.
because people are making connections. They're finding out where people live,
Where they work.
where they work. They're finding out about their family members.
Mm-hmm.
And heck, your spouse may be caught up in this, your children.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's just like, it's not fair to them, especially if you decide to go on there to make that content for whatever
Right.
reason. And then your children and your spouse and the rest of your family have to deal with those consequences.
Yep.
Children being teased because everybody can see their mom's body on the internet if they pay. And it's just like, you know.
Well, another thing too, it's like with these scammers and stuff, they're like sharing with other people how to hack, you know, people that have OF content, like they're not
Mm-hmm.
even paying for it. So it's just like, and they're reposting it on Reddit and corn sites and whatever other sites that are out there. So it's like, you're putting yourself out there creating that content, and people aren't even paying for it. They're sitting there hacking into your account and reposting it so other people can see it for free.
Yeah, and it's like at that point, like, why are
What's
you
the
even
point?
creating this?
Yeah.
Like, you went into it with the mindset of, like, I guess being an entrepreneur, but you're not seeing any increase or any kind of benefit financially if people are able to bypass
And
and
speak
get your content for free.
and it's the whole entrepreneur thing too. It's like, I heard a lot of women that are on there, some of them got caught up with like the taxes and stuff. They weren't
Yeah,
paying on it.
yeah.
It's like you do have to pay your taxes on there.
And Uncle Sam does not care about your nice rack.
Right.
He may have watched it, but guess what? At the end of the day, he wants his half of what you brought in. So you better pay.
Yeah. It's just like just think about those things. That's I don't know if there's anything else to add.
Oh
You can
yeah, yeah. I have some.
Yeah, add. Say what you
The other thing too, um, just along with that, as far as like with you know posting questionable content, whether it's Ray Ray stuff or sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the other thing I would say too to be careful of, especially I would say for like the ladies that are posting like the you know, sexy stuff. It's like the other thing too, especially like, if you're on like just like the regular social media and you're not charging for your content and things like that, and you have like things like to lose,
Right.
like certifications, degrees,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. It's like, don't forfeit all of the things that you're working towards, or the you know, all the goals that you have that you're working on and things like that, or your job, just for a little bit of internet clout and a few panting face emojis. It's not worth it.
No.
And I mean, like, let's just be real. Like, we know some ladies, like when we used to be on IG, that had, they did the kind of content on IG, for free, but they also had an OF. But a lot of the people that were flooding the comments, like egging them on,
Weren't
like,
even
yeah, yeah,
subscribed.
yeah. Yeah, they're not a paid customer though for OF. So it's like, okay, so if they're not gonna pay for your content now, like if you lose your job or whatever, they're not gonna support you then either.
No.
And you're gonna be on your tail, possibly homeless or whatever, and things like that. And you'll be on there begging, and you still gonna be, just, let's just be real, like, ass out.
Yeah, because like Christy was saying, we knew plenty of young women on there that did that type of content, as well as post on IG for free, their goods. And one young lady in particular, she, had a wish list of things that she, wanted people to get so she could create more content. And I was just curious to look at. I said, let me see what she's asking for. It was $4 or $5 lingerie that she was begging for people to buy her, and I'm just like, buy for her, and I'm like, you can't afford $4, $5 lingerie, and she had like 20K followers on IG plus her OF, so I'm like, I would think that with all the internet clout, what I'm saying, it would go over to OF. You would have money like that to get, all that stuff that you're.
No.
But no, she wasn't. Like, she constantly was pleading for people to subscribe to her OF. I'm like, so is it really worth it?
And I'm just like, ladies, we're not trying to clown or bash anybody,
No.
but I'm just like this. It's like, is any of that really worth it? And I mean, I can't get with the idea of posting that because, oh, I'm sexually free, sexually free,
Yeah.
or body positivity. It's like, is it really though? Because you have, and I mean, I agree that you should put your page on private, but it's like, look, if anybody has to have like a disclaimer before they come onto your page, it's something, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not something that you should be doing. And I mean, and it's at the cost of like your dignity. Let's be real,
Right.
because there's some people that you really don't want to know about your page.
Right.
So it's not something that you should be doing.
Right.
And I'm just like, and it's like, there's so many beautiful and intelligent young ladies. They have so much to offer. They do. But it's like, how can anybody know or get past the fact that such a brilliant person, when all that you're offering to everybody is your body?
Right.
And I just wish that, ladies would just really take that, take that to heart, and just really just like, look, I don't need to be doing this. I have so much to offer the world besides a nude body, and just half naked pictures, and sexual innuendos, and I'm just like, you're worth so more than a wadded up piece of tissue with questionable materials in it, or a half used bottle of Jergens lotion. You are worth so much more, Queen.
Yes.
And the people that really respect you, they will tell you that too.
Mm-hmm.
And they would not sit there and continue to encourage you to, post that kind of content on the internet. Like, for real.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is, the men and women that are encouraging the women to post this content, they don't even create that type of content.
No.
And then they're sitting there reposting these young women's pictures for likes and views and follows. Pretty much pimping these women out, because that's what it is.
Yeah, like a real life pimp. Like,
Yeah.
they, are pushing the women out there for their gain. They're getting money,
Right.
but as far as internet, like you said, the likes and follows, they're getting that instead.
Yeah.
But there's no risk to them because I mean, it's not anything like it's not like they're on there posting
Right.
themselves.
The only the risk that they could get though is the men and women that are reposting this. Some of these women could not even be women. They could be young girls, teenage girls, underage that is creating this content and they're reposting it. They can get in trouble for that.
Right.
Child pornography.
Yeah,
So
because there's so many ways for to bypass. There's no really checks and balances to make sure that users are at least 18 years old
right.
to start a page. And then you also look at the fact of you know like just like society in general is overly smegsed,
Right.
and the children and the youth are exposed to it constantly as well. Young girls, they're, learning themselves, discovering themselves. They want to be attractive and, looked at. And so they see these influences or influencers, they see celebrities that they look up to wearing next to nothing. And so they're like, oh, this is what I need to do.
Right.
And then filters, you couple with that,
Right.
they can make themselves appear older than what they actually are.
Uh-huh.
But of course, like with social media, we can always go backtrack and find out that, oh, wait a minute, they're actually like 14 or 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So people need to be
Careful.
careful.
Yeah. But we kind of we don't want to make the video too long. There's a lot we could say about this topic, and we've talked about this before, but yeah, it's just something that we wanted to discuss again because it's just like it's too much. Even on TikTok, I think I told Christy I've come across some things on TikTok where I'm just like, what? How did that get
Right.
past the guidelines? But yeah, I just pray that you know especially for our young women, that they realize their worth and know that
Mm-hmm.
they're beautiful inside and out, and they don't have to do that to don't you don't have to seek validation. Know your self worth. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Not anything in particular. Just want to say, I know we kind of said some things that might come off as like a little bit like harsh,
Right.
but it's not like we're mean spirited.
It's
people.
coming from love.
Yes, we say these things in love and um just honesty.
Yeah.
Because people that really love you, they're gonna be honest and tell you the truth. So
right. So until next time.
bye.